Starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, good evening, everybody. This is Blake Warrington, 9-star Diamond Coach with Team Beachbody, and we have a very special guest with us tonight, Mr. Todd Falcone. I'll kind of share with you how we met Todd. We were at Eric Worre's, as you know, we're using a lot of his stuff, and we were at the Recruiting Mastery course last December, and this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in our profession, but Eric brought Todd up, and he's very versed and very comfortable with doing cold calling and things like that, which a lot of people aren't really good at. He literally got up on stage, and I believe this is one of the first times he's done it on stage. He said he's done it on conference calls and things like that, but he literally got a list of people, prospects, and he live dialed them in front of a room of, 700-800 people, maybe more, I forget how many we had in that room or whatever, and he was literally live dialing while we were being quiet in the background as you could hear him doing prospecting calls, and it was just off the charts, and he just made it so much fun and so lighthearted, and he's joking and laughing, and he took the whole sting out of doing, any kind of really phone calling or anything like that. So we thought it'd be great to bring Todd on our calls. We're trying to bring on an industry professional once a month, somebody besides ourselves, so you don't have to hear my voice or some of the other people all the time. So Todd, basically, he's been in the industry, or the profession, I can't say industry, I'm going to get in trouble with Eric, but he's got 20 years full-time experience in field network marketing, direct selling, and now devotes all of his time to teaching and educating on the subject. He speaks and trains on the subject of network marketing for network marketing companies all around the world. So it's an amazing opportunity to have Todd with us tonight, because he's literally around the world, and he's taken his time out tonight to talk about recruiting, something that's near and dear for everybody on this call, and recruiting up, which is a great topic that a lot of you probably haven't heard about before, because some of you are just trying to get somebody to sign up and recruit, and Todd's going to give you a little insight in how you can do recruiting in a whole different way. So with that, I'm going to turn the call over to Mr. Todd Falcone. And Todd, go ahead and take it away, and thank you very much for showing up tonight and doing this training for us. Appreciate it very much.
Well, Blake, thank you so much to you and Angie for having me on your webinar. Super excited to be here. And yeah, that was a crazy, that was the first time I ever got in front of a live audience of people looking at me, over 600 of them, and making live phone calls. That was that was fun. That was fun. But super excited to be here. And tonight, I guess we're going to do, I guess the theme is going to be low-tech, high-check. So I had this this slideshow presentation that was going to go, but there's something going on with my computer, so you're just going to hear me, which actually is kind of a little bit better. That way you can just kind of close your eyes, lay back, and pay attention to what I'm going to share with you folks over the next 45 minutes or so. And here's the thing: in all the years that I've done network marketing, people that are involved in the business, the objective and the desire for most people is to build a big team of self-reliant, responsible producers that have both the willingness and the capacity to do the things that we do in this business. I mean, that's what in fact, that's your key to success, is finding people that are willing, able, and capable of doing what we do in this business. And if you look at it, you get involved in network marketing for the first time, some legitimate questions that come out of people's out of their mouths is, okay, well, this totally makes sense to me. I remember when I first got started in network marketing, first go around back in 1989, I walked into a business opportunity meeting, and I had no idea what a business opportunity was. I'd never heard of network marketing, multi-level marketing. I was going to a job interview. I thought it was a job interview as I was graduating out of the marketing department at Long Beach State, and I ended up going down to Irvine, California, and seeing something for the first time, and it made sense to me, like this whole profession of network marketing. I was like, wait a minute, you can sell a product, you can make a retail profit, and you can build a team, and you can earn a percentage of all of their efforts, and you can build as big of a team as you want to. And I thought, wow, what's not to like about that? Sign me up. I didn't have any misconceptions or prior experiences that fogged my brain. It just made sense to me, so I started. And I will say this, I mean, and this is important. I mean, the first couple years I was involved in network marketing, I wasn't highly successful. Didn't knock it out of the park right away. Saw it. I mean, I bit hook, line, and sinker into the concept from day one. leverage, residual income, no boss, no overhead, essentially, free time, work when you want, as long as you want, as little as you want, recruit whoever you want, work with whoever you want. And funny thing is, like 2 years later in my first network marketing business, I ended up moving home and living in the bunk beds at my parents' house in Monterey, California to regroup, and ended up working with the family business for a little while before I could get back into the business and really kind of do things the right way the second time around, which ultimately led to what I'm talking to you guys about tonight, which is this whole idea of recruiting. When you get involved in network marketing, we all know that we want to go build a big business, and we want to build a business of people that do, not that don't. And I always say this, like when I'm doing seminars and you're learning stuff, it's like this. Hey, what do you want to do? If you're going to be successful, do what the doers are doing and don't do what the don'ters are doing. I mean, it's pretty simple. There's always doers, there's always don'ters, and you get to choose. Do I want to hang out with the doers and follow those people and do what they're doing, or do I want to have to hang out with the don'ters that don't doing anything? And that's not any fun because they're never doing anything. They're just complaining and they're looking and they're watching life pass them by. And so I made an early decision as an entrepreneur, as a business professional, as a salesperson, that I was gonna do everything I could to be the very best I could possibly be in whatever I was doing. And in network marketing, I found very, very quickly that recruiting good people was a good thing, because good people, and what I mean by good is I mean people that have the desire, have the willingness, have the capacity, are willing to roll up their sleeves and get after it, don't really require a whole lot of hand-holding and babysitting, and not to say we don't want to be good sponsors and be available and work with our team, because that's certainly absolutely what we want to do, but you really want to bring somebody in who, and especially and look, here's the deal. Network marketing is a social business, right? You can't just sit behind a computer and fiddle around and all of a sudden you're rich in network marketing. It doesn't happen that way. It's about human interaction and creating connections with other human beings. That's the key to success in this business, is being really good at creating connections with people that you meet and greet along the way. I mean, that is it right there, is how good can I be at developing relationships with other people and being the leader that these people are looking for. That's really kind of the premise of what we're looking to do in network marketing. And our challenge ultimately in network marketing is finding good people, knowing what to say to them, right? Especially if you're new. It's like, hey, okay, I'm brand new in this thing, so who do I talk to and what the heck do I say? And when I first started, I remember they gave me a script, which is cool, because if you don't know what to say, a script is a guideline. It's going to give you something to work with. And then who do I talk to? Well, the guy that sponsored me said, well, here, I'll give it to you. He goes, take a mirror out in the marketplace, shove it up underneath everybody's nose. If it fogs up, they're it. And I get it. Okay, anybody's a prospect. Thank you very much. That's nice. But I don't, I mean, my dog can't make a phone call. My dog can't do a one-on-one, a two-on-one. So it's not anybody. I mean, and of course there are people that you can go and they'll fog up a mirror, but they're not the right candidate. Not everybody. And I hear this all the time. Oh, no, network marketing is for everyone. I don't really think that it is. I think network marketing is for a certain group of people who have a desire for greatness in their lives, who are willing to face their fears, their own self-imposed limitations, the crazy thoughts that we have about not being good enough, and are willing to face all those things to find greatness in our lives and to live an exceptional life and have things that we wouldn't otherwise have if we didn't choose a path that has leverage. Because you got a couple different paths. You can work for somebody else and and take what's given to you and maybe get a little bit more if you're good, if you're in some cool sales job. But then there's still a lot of limitations there. And we have this thing called network marketing that really represents something, an opportunity for people to achieve really fantastic things in their lives. As Eric Worre says, we have a better way. And I really believe that we do have a better way. And I've been talking about this for so long, and I'll continue to scream from the rooftops that we do have a better way. Here's the thing. You want to be successful in this business, two things you have to do. Okay, number one, you need to understand this, that the only way to the money is through exposure. If you're not talking to people, if you're not engaged in introducing your product, your business to new people, then you're really not in the business. You could show up for national conferences, regional conferences, different events, and things like that, and that's sweet. That's really nice. But if you never do anything, then you're really not in the business. And I say that because I'm on an airplane almost every week, traveling literally all over the world teaching people on the subject of network marketing. And there are thousands of people that show up for these events that never do anything, but they show up for events, they show up for Saturday meetings, they show up for weekly Thursday night, Wednesday night, in homes, whatever, but they never do anything. Here's a first challenge for you tonight, okay? Because, I mean, I'm going to give you guys some reality checks. I'm going to get you right between the eyeballs, because if you're here right now, you're on this webinar, you obviously want to make money. You wouldn't be here if you didn't, because you've got something. I'm sure there's something else you could do on a Thursday night. You're here because you want to figure stuff out. So I'm going to make the most of the time that I have with you, which isn't very long. Got about 45 minutes with you. If you're going to make money in this business, if you're going to create freedom in your life, you have to understand that you have to recruit. Okay? Most of you probably already realize that. Here's the first reality check. I want you to draw a box on a piece of paper. Well, hopefully you're taking notes. It's probably a good thing. I still take notes everywhere I go, and I've been doing this for 25 years. I got a journal everywhere I go. In that box, I want you to write a number. The number is this. How many new people did you talk to about Team Beachbody in the last 24 hours? How many new people did you pique their interest, engage in conversation with the intention of talking to them about your business? How many new people? Last 24 hours. Okay, what is this? This is the first reality check of engagement. Am I committed? Am I actually in the business, or am I just hanging out? It's Thursday. Unless you were at the hospital or you slept all day yesterday or something, last 24 hours, you could have talked to somebody, right? Even a handful of people. I've got a saying that goes along with it. It's very simple. I'll slow down for a minute so you get it. It kind of has a little ring to it. I made it up, I don't know, 15 years ago. Double digits a day, keep the commission checks on their way. Double digits a day, keep the commission checks on their way. Well, what's that mean? So if you're like, okay, if you're being honest and you're starting, and the thing is, we have to all be coming from a place of integrity, okay? First, integrity starts from within with ourselves, our self-talk, our own self-communication, right? You put a number in that box, be truthful. Like if your number is 0, that's not a good number. That's a reality check. Now you have awareness. See, a level of awareness is important because you can't change something unless you're aware that it needs to be changed. So if it's a 0, here's the thing. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, I want you to end every single day, draw a box as you're wrapping up your day, draw a box in your journal or whatever you do, wherever you keep your notes, and put in a number. And just write in the number of new people that you talk to that day about your business. If you're staring at a 0, a 1, a 2, a 0, a 1, a 0, a 0, a 1, and you're complaining to your sponsor because you're not making enough money, or you're unsatisfied because you're not making enough money, it's staring at you right in the face, okay? So, I mean, I'm a little direct, of course, because this is an entertainment hour. Nobody comes to conference calls. I mean, hopefully I'll maybe entertain you a little bit, but purpose here is for you guys to get something out of tonight so you can go, oh, my goodness. I met this crazy Todd dude. He made me think about what I'm doing or not doing. He made me really start operating from a state of accountability, being responsible, learning to be self-employed is a critical component to you being a successful self-employed entrepreneur, of course. So do that. Draw a box on a piece of paper, put in the number. And if you go with my phrase, double digits a day, keep the commission checks on their way, what's that mean? Well, I don't know. What's the first double digit? 10? Okay. Well, Todd, you mean I got to talk to 10 people a day? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how wealthy do you want to – I mean, how successful do you want to be? Not hard to talk to 10 people. I spent half the day off yesterday because I felt like it, and I still had at least 10 conversations, and I barely even worked yesterday. I mean, I easily had 10 conversations yesterday on a barely work day because I could, because I've been a self-employed entrepreneur focused for a long period of time. You can do that once you've been, focused for a long enough period of time. Here's the thing. You're going out there and recruiting. You can our natural human tendency is to go down the socioeconomic chain. Check this out. All right? So you get started in the network marketing business, and you write down your people that your warm market list, your prospect list, right? That's what we do when we first get started. What's funny to me, it's comedic to me, is when people get involved in network marketing and they're like, oh, I don't want to talk to my friends. I don't want to talk to the people that I know. I'm like, well, fine, I don't want to work with you. What? Yeah, I mean, here's the funny thing. It's like, and no, I'll still work with people, but my point is, if you get involved in a business like this, especially with the branding that you guys have like, you have brand awareness like most companies don't in network marketing. I mean, the awareness of what you guys are, people know your brand. I mean, this is an easy deal if you go out there and talk to people about it. But our tendency is to go down the socioeconomic chain, right? To go after people that, I'll go talk to my friends on my list that are broke, that have no money, that may, need something, or they don't have much going on. But boy, it's the successful people on my list. Well, I'm not going to go talk to them. I don't know. I don't think I think I'm going to avoid those people. And so what's crazy is what we think is the path of least resistance by talking to our broke friends and family that need an opportunity. And some of those can certainly capitalize it. I'm sure. But those are the kind of people that are like, oh, I'm broke. Oh, how much money are you making? Oh, how long have you been in? What's your check? Well, if it's so good, why don't you pay my way in? If you're making so much money, why don't you? It's just the comedic stuff that goes on, right? And then we avoid the best people on our list. And I'm gonna give you a lesson right now. I'm gonna show you how to get after those people. And I actually did this many years ago when I came back after my first couple years of full-time network marketing. I came back to my family's radio station. I was an account executive selling advertising. Immediately within 6 months, I found a network marketing company. I was building a business part-time, having to sneak out of my parents' house with my pager and go to a payphone to make prospecting calls to build my part-time network marketing business while I was regrouping. One of the guys, and this is my lesson to you, I'm going to teach. Here's my other challenge, okay? I'm going to give you a challenge because every single person right now on this call has at least one person on your center of influence list. That means somebody that that you perceive up the socioeconomic chain. That means you look up to them as a successful person that's got stuff going on. There's something, they own the car dealership, or they're the commercial realtor, or they own this company. You know who I'm talking about, those people that for our own inadequacies and our own fears, we don't talk to them. And unfortunately, what you guys have to realize is those are actually the best people to talk to. They're actually easier, the ones that we're the most afraid to talk to, the ones that are successful, and we look up to them. We're thinking, well, what if I don't know if I want to talk to them, because what if they like, I'm involved. What if they say something about MLM or network marketing? Oh, I don't want to look stupid or silly or I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to lose my friend. I don't want them to think I'm crazy. Look, all these thoughts, you can't say the things that I'm saying right now and have read it out of a book. This is from in the field, building a network marketing business for a very long time. I've had all those thoughts. I've had all those experiences. I've worked with people that have had those same experiences. For me, there was a guy in Monterey, California, owned 5 dealerships, and I actually handled their advertising for a long time, Cardinale Automotive Group. And there's this guy, Joe, who I had purchased a car or two from him, and he was the guy on my list. And this is the challenge that I have for you. This is exactly what I did with him. Now, granted, in this case, he didn't join my business, which is fine, but I got through my fear, my own thought process, and I made the phone call to Joe. And this is my challenge to you. Right, those people that and I know you know who they are, that are on your list, that you perceive up the socioeconomic chain from you, that you'd love to have in your business, but for your own whatever reason, you haven't talked to them about Team Beachbody. Now I'm going to give you a very, very easy way to do it, and it is very easy, and they can't say no to you in terms of them looking at your business. It's a virtual impossibility. Here's how it works. This is exactly what I did with Joe. I called Joe up. And this is a time when I was doing a bunch of advertising stuff, but I was building my network marketing business part-time, about 15 hours a week on the side. I called him up, and I was like, hey, Joe, Todd. He's like, what's up, Bubba? And that's what he called me back then. I'm actually it's funny because I'm going to be playing in a golf tournament with him in October. I haven't seen him for, I don't know, probably about a year. I was down there in Monterey about a year ago playing golf with him. But he's like, what's up? And I said, listen, Joe, and this is the way I did it, and I'm teaching you. This is the type of approach that you want to do with these people up the socioeconomic chain for me. I said, Joe, listen, I said, first of all, I said, I look up to you as an entrepreneur, as a role model, as an entrepreneur. You have all these car dealerships. You're incredibly successful. It seems like everything that you do works for you. I aspire to someday in my life be as successful as you've been in yours. And I look up to you as somebody that not necessarily saying I want to be in the car business, but I want to be successful like you and be the type of person that you are. And I said, listen, the reason I'm calling is this. I'm involved in a new business that I'm doing in addition to what I'm doing. I know I'm handling your advertising, doing all that stuff. I'm super excited about what I'm building, and I would be really appreciative if you would just do me a favor and take a peek at what I'm doing and just give me your honest to goodness feedback. Would you do that for me? And he was like, oh, absolutely. What do you want me to look at? I didn't have to say, do you keep your options open? Are you open to taking a look at a cool money-making idea? I mean, this guy was like, I mean, he had a private jet. I think he's got a couple of them now, right? And he didn't join my business, but he looked at it. I think I gave him a CD or a DVD or VHS. I don't know who knows what it was back then. And he looked at it. And the funny thing is he got totally intrigued about network marketing. And ultimately, I think it was about a year later, he ended up getting involved in a different network marketing company that he kind of brought into the dealership at the time. I remember when that was happening. That was like in the early to mid 90s. But the key with that approach is you coming from a place of integrity and being genuine. Like, you can't go to your buddy and like everything that I said to Joe that day was totally like absolutely true, legit, real, coming from the heart. Like, I just said, look, man, you're like one of the most, in fact, I think you are the most successful person that I personally have a relationship with. I look up to you as a business role model. I aspire to be someday as successful in my life as you've been in yours. I've got involved in this new business, and I'm super excited about it. However, I mean, just knowing your business savvy, I'd just be really appreciative if you'd take a look at it and just tell me what you think. I don't, and the thing about that is when you go up after those types of people, you don't have to say, hey, by the way, if if you're into it, like, let me know because maybe I'll sign you up and I'll sponsor you. You don't have to say any of that. They're smart. They'll look at it. Now, he looked at it and he was like, this looks like a great idea. It wasn't for him. That's fine. But I was able to work through my own fears and actually make that phone call. And here's the thing. I've done that with other people outside of him that are up the socioeconomic chain from me that I've had success with. They're like, absolutely, this makes total sense to me. I remember that was the first guy that I really was like, man, gotta go talk to this guy, and I was able to bust through that. And so for you guys, the key to that is you can't be cheesy. You can't be like, hey, I look up to you, man. You're cool, and you don't even really like them. I mean, that's not going to work. So whatever you say has to be genuine. So if you and your relationships with the different people that you have that you look up to, that you respect, and it's just a matter of like saying, look, hey, this is why I'm calling you. I said, first of all, I appreciate you, our friendship, our relationship. I mean, you're super successful. Whatever's going to come out of your mouth, and they can't say no to that because you're compliment. Can you do me a favor and take a peek at this and let me know what you think about it? That's easy. Any of you can do that. So my challenge to you is in the next week, take a couple of those people that are on your list. Every one of you, guaranteed, has somebody on your list right now that fits that bill. And here's the thing: if you don't talk to them, somebody else will. I promise you. I'll give you another example. I'm playing this golf tournament I'm playing in October. You do not want to avoid people and prejudge them, especially the good ones. So my buddy, I'm playing in his member guest tournament in October. I'll just say this: he's financially done, like done over and over again. He doesn't have to work. I won't go into much. He's just done. Like, he's got more money than he could ever spend in his lifetime. And I got involved in the business many years ago, and he was on my list. Sharp guy, sold this internet company, and I didn't talk to him about my business. And he was on my list. I was like, he's not going to do this deal. But I don't know, like a year later, he calls me up and he's like, hey, Todd, it's Randall. I'm like, what's up, dude? He goes, hey, do you know such and such? I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, yeah, well, he's on your 7th level in your downline. I'm on your 8th. Why didn't you call me about this? And I was just like, yeah. So I don't proclaim perfection by any means. You guys, you want to go after good quality people. Successful people are successful for a reason, because they see opportunity, and when they see it, they act on it. And you don't know until you ask whether or not somebody's open. They don't have to have responded to an online ad, offline ad, any ad to find out you don't know if they have a level of dissatisfaction in their lives. I'm going to teach you another really quick lesson. By the way, the categories that I'm primarily talking about here are professionals, just for clarification purposes, are people that, again, are more likely to be successful in this type of business because of what they are already doing in their daily job or occupation. those types of individuals that I've found personally that do really well are people that are in sales, real estate, insurance, finance, mortgage, outside sales, inside sales, sales managers, directors of marketing, people that are running organizations, leading organizations. And so there's about eight or 10 different categories of people that I specifically like to go after, and there's some categories of people that I specifically avoid. I'll tell you, for example, right now, like doctors. Now, there's probably a doctor on this webinar tonight. Doctors do network marketing. I'm not at all saying doctors don't do network marketing. But if I'm going to initiate a call to someone that maybe in this case that I don't yet know, some doctor that I don't know, I mean, I can't even get my own doctor on the phone, during the middle of the day when he's seeing patients, let alone some doctor that doesn't even know who the guy is that's calling. But so there's a lot of different categories that are really easy to go after. So here's the other thing I want to share with you guys. First of all, you going through your center of influence, your warm market, and really not skipping that opportunity. If you blow past those people and say, I'm not going to go talk to those people, I just want to go talk to people I don't know, and I hear that all the time. And what that tells me is the person that's doing that doesn't have any belief in what they're doing. What you're saying is, it's good enough for me, and it's good enough for a complete stranger, but it's not good enough for my really good friend that I love and care about and like to hang out with. That's ultimately what that individual is saying. So, I would be kind of doing like a little internal check if that's the case. If you're like skipping those people, I'd be like, well, why am I skipping those people? Maybe I may have to work on my beliefs around this profession and understand why I'm willing to go talk to a stranger, but I'm not willing to go talk to my friend that I just hung out with last night and say, look, you know what, I found something really cool. I don't know if you're open to this or not, but perhaps we can maybe make some money and have some fun together and not have to have a job anymore and spend more time with our kids and you and me, and we can go play. So this whole method of recruiting, the funny thing is, started out of my frustration with working purchase leads. There was an 11-year period of my life where I was buying tons of leads. I was buying like 1,000 leads a month, and I was picking up the phone. I was calling them every month. And I got to a point where, you get people that pick up the phone, and you just kind of get tired of the responses. Like, I'm like, yeah, hello. And then, huh? Hey, is Bob here? I'm like, hey, Bob, Todd Falcone, how you doing? Fair Midland. Good. Hey, what do you got? This is a scam. This is one of those things. If it's so good, we pay my way in. How much money are you making? And hopefully that doesn't all happen in one phone call. But you just kind of get to a point where you're like, I don't want to do that. Here's my thing. Look at the top people in this company. Look at the people that show up. Look at the people that are at the meetings, the presentations that are victorious. Do they sound like that? No, they've got it together. There's something about them. Where do you find those people where there's something about them? They're responsible. They're in different occupations. They're in occupations that reward them, because those types of people like to be rewarded. They're not going to sit in a mediocre salary job and just, okay, I will show up and I will do what you tell me, and then I will leave and you will pay me exactly the same amount and I will get here tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Can I pee? That's not the kind of person we're talking about. And so when people go, where's all the good people at? Well, all the good people are typically in good careers. And just because they're in a good career doesn't mean that they're totally satiated. So, when you're like, okay, I'm going to go build this team, I had this day of prospecting. I was living in my house, and this is actually, I remember this after I bought my first house in Marina, California, and I'm sitting there and I'm making phone calls. And I was doing well at the time. I was back network marketing full time and doing my thing. I was surfing a ton and playing golf like 5 days a week. I was playing a ton of golf, and I had one of these pathetic days of prospecting. It was terrible, and I just thought, man, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. So it was funny because I was looking at, I had a Homes and Land magazine on my desk, and I thought, man, realtors. Well, realtors most of them are pretty sharp, and they work, yeah. And so I made a couple phone calls, And the first phone call I made, the lady hung up on me, and next phone call, I was like, well, that script didn't work. Maybe I better change up what I'm saying here and say something a little different. So I said something a little bit different. And then the next realtor, she said yes. I was like, cool, I'm on to something here. And then I made another phone call that night to this guy, and he said yes. Okay, now let me start, formulating some kind of like script, because I'm trying stuff, and some of it's working and some of it's not. And I got up the next day, and then I started to kind of get into a groove, and I was like, wow, all of these people are super receptive. Like, I'd go make, if I made 100 phone calls, 100 people sounded like somebody I'd love to have in my business, and I'd get easy 50 to 60 of them to say yes to me, to at least taking a peek at what the business was. In fact, I'll teach you right now exactly how I did it, okay? And I'll give you a real-life example, and I'm going to teach you a lesson of how many of you right now are missing out on opportunities that are right in your backyard. They're like literally, they're like right underneath your nose, okay? So pay attention to this one. This will be very, very powerful for you. I'm coming home from a national conference. So I'd moved up to Washington State. I'm coming home from this event. I'd been gone for 5 days. I knew that there was 5 days of mail because I think my wife is in Oklahoma visiting somebody or something. I think she was with family, and I come home. There's nothing in the refrigerator. Drop my bags. I got to go grab my mail. I got to go to the post office and go to the grocery store. And so I get in my car. And see, here's the thing. Understand this phrase: the eyes cannot see the things that they're not yet trained to see. So when I started doing advertising sales years ago, I used to read the newspaper, but then I stopped reading the newspaper and I just looked for the people that were advertising. So I trained my eyes to look for opportunities. Well, that person's advertising. Maybe that's a potential person that I can make a contact with because they're spending ad revenue. So I shifted the way I looked at something. So I want you to think about shifting the way you look at something in the marketplace from the standpoint of you going out there and going, I'm a talent scout. I have a business that I can offer people that if they choose to grab a hold of it, can dramatically shift the direction of their life for the better. I mean, and that is something I firmly believe in, that if some individual that I introduce the concept of network marketing to, and they choose on their own volition to engage and do something, their lives will never be the same. Okay? Now, they've got to choose and they have to embrace, but I know that the vehicle itself has the capacity for monumental change for that individual. And I own that from in every cell of my body. That's another thing. When you're out there talking to people, your belief has everything to do with your success or lack thereof. If you're doubting, you're done. If you have an inkling of doubt in your mind, like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if this will work, maybe it'll work, but I'm not sure, you're done. And one of the first things I teach people to do when I'm teaching people building their business on solid fundamentals is really operating from a really powerful state of belief about what you're doing. Because, it's like people are like dogs. Dogs can feel your fear. People can feel your doubt. And if you don't buy your own story, why would somebody want to buy it from you? I mean, you don't even buy it yourself. So why would I want to buy it from you? What are you talking about? I'm not signing up in your business. Okay, so back to my story. So I get back, get in my car. I'm driving to the grocery store. I'm driving the center where my grocery store is and my mailbox place. And on the way there, I see this for sale sign. And for me, a for sale sign is an opportunity. I love talking to realtors. So I slow down. I keep a legal yellow pad between my center console and my seat in my car at all times. I pull it out. I make a phone call. I don't stop and make myself a sandwich and hang out. I just, write the realtor's name and phone number down. This is exactly how the call went. And again, I just pulled over for a second, write her name down, Coldwell Banker, okay, cool. And I started driving. And I call her up, and it's her cell phone. Good afternoon, this is Jan. I said, Jan, Todd Falcone, how you doing? She's like, good, what can I do for you? I said, Jan, I was just driving by your listing here in Beaver Lake Estates. She said, awesome, you interested in the home? I said, well, it's a beautiful house. I actually live right down the street from where the house is listed. Let me tell you why I'm calling. I'm an entrepreneur. I love working with super sharp people. I know that you're actively involved in real estate here. I've seen a couple of your other listings around town. Let me tell you why I'm calling. I'm growing my business here locally. I just have a very simple question for you, and that is, do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing as a real estate professional? And she said, yeah. She goes, I do. As a matter of fact, yes. And, of course, what's that? That's an open door for me to then provide information to her about my business, which I did, okay? How you guys provide it, whether it's a webinar, a conference call, a CD, a DVD, a website video, or whatever, product sample pack, whatever fits into that picture, you fit into that picture. So here I am on an errand running session. Now I show up at my shopping center. It's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I go into my little local coffee shop and I get myself a green tea. While I'm waiting for my green tea, I go right over to the cork board, which is right there, and I'm like looking around. And I'm like, then I know what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for cork. I'm looking for people that fit my categories. I'm like, oh, well, there's a realtor. Oh, there's a personal fitness trainer. Oh, there's a mortgage person. They have their card up there. I put their 3 cards in my pocket, got my tea, went right next door, grabbed my mail for my little post-net deal or whatever it was, and then right next door is my grocery store. So I get in the grocery store. I put the mail where my kid would sit, but my kid's not there. So I'm cruising around. I'm putting stuff in there, and then about 5 minutes into like grocery shop, and I see this dude staring at me on my grocery cart. This little miniature man with a big smile on his face is just staring at me, and I finally couldn't handle it anymore. So I pick up the phone. I called him. What is it? It's a guy with State Farm insurance with a big ad where my kid's back would be if his butt was in the shopping cart. And I called the guy up. And I pull my phone out of my pocket in the grocery store. This is exactly how the call went. Hey, ring, ring, blah, 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 State Farm Insurance. I'm like, yeah, can I speak with Greg, please? Yeah, well, hang on a second. Who's this? Todd Falcone. Okay, cool. Hey, this is Greg. Hey, Greg, Todd Falcone. How's it going? He's like, good. What can I do for you? I said, Greg, I'm looking at your smiling face between my tomatoes and my eggs. And he kind of laughed, and I kind of did too because it was funny, but it was true. No, he said, oh, you must be looking at my ad in the grocery cart at QFC. I said, I am. I said, listen, Greg, let me tell you why I'm calling. I'm an entrepreneur. I love working. In fact, I exclusively work with really high-caliber individuals. I'm in the process of growing my business here locally, and I just have a very simple question. I mean, you are running this ad. You're obviously looking to grow your State Farm business. Do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing as a State Farm rep? And he said, I do. I said, cool. I said, I can see from your address. I can see you right around the corner from my house. I go, is it possible we get together on Monday or Tuesday of next week? He's like, Tuesday would work. I'm like, cool. I can meet with you afternoon or morning. Which one's better? Did the little either or deal. That following Tuesday morning, I ended up meeting with the guy at 9 a.m. I signed him up into my business on the spot. Now, it doesn't happen every time like that. In fact, it almost never does happen like that. But with Greg, it did. Okay? So let me back up for a second. Okay, that was me in reverse for just a second. I haven't had the meeting yet. I booked the meeting. Remember, I'm in the grocery store. I get in my car to put the groceries in my cart, out of my cart and into my car. I'm driving home. What I have in my pocket, I got 3 business cards. What are those 3 business cards? Remember the personal fitness trainer, the mortgage broker, and the realtor? I called all 3 of them on the drive home. 2 out of those 3 said yes to me. Now, understand something. I'm on an errand running session. I called the realtor, Greg, the State Farm guy, and 3 other people. I called 5 people on an errand running session, which is downtime, unused time for most people. And I got 4 out of 5 of those people to say yes to me. They were open to taking a peek at my business. All the time, every single one of them I'd love to have. I mean, these are professional salespeople, responsible leaders that have for their own individual level of dissatisfaction, whatever it is. It's all different. Too stressed, too worked, make tons of money, no free time, not making enough money, too much of a grind, too much competition. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Everybody's got something. But if you don't ask for something, you never get anything. The key is asking peak interest questions to the right people. You heard my peak interest question. Do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing in the blank profession? So for you guys, now here's the trick. Here's the thing. Tomorrow you're going to be cruising around doing what you do, whatever that is, and you're going to see stuff, and then you're going to be like, oh, Falcone guy messed with my mind last night. Now I'm like looking at this for sale sign, and what am I going to do? Or I saw this, and like, oh boy. Now you're going to start recognizing things. The key is, how are you going to act? I mean, honestly, let me ask you this. What if some dude that you just kind of you could have called him, but you didn't, ended up being, a person that makes you $10,000 a month? I mean, you just don't know. You never know. You don't know. You don't know who's going to lead you to who. I mean, I'll tell you real quick. One of the last companies I built, I've sponsored a buddy of mine who I actually originally met through this method that we became friends with. And I called him up and I said, listen, I'm doing this. And he's like, yeah, I'll take a peek at it. Joins. And he brings in a guy who brings in over 9,000 people. So some realtor dude that I called out of the blue ultimately led me to 9,000 plus other people which has continued to pay me for years and years and years, continue to get paid on that same volume. So the key thing for you guys is understanding the importance of making your priorities like, okay, I got to make sure that I'm recruiting. I got to make sure that I'm talking to people. I have to make sure that my mindset is in order, that I'm operating from a state of belief, that I'm not avoiding these, the good people on my list, that I'm actually going to the most successful ones because they're actually easier to get. They're easier to engage with. They're actually nicer. They don't meet you with like, yeah, I'm skeptical. Yeah. Now that sounds like a scheme, a scam, a sham, whatever word that they can, mutter up in their brain because they can't think of anything, nice to say. Successful people are smart. You go ask a simple question, you get an answer. So here's the thing: we're getting pretty close to the tail end of this. All this stuff, and I have limited time with you guys tonight. All this stuff comes out of a course I created. It's my #1 selling training. I teach you exactly how to recruit up the socioeconomic chain. It's a program. I actually see it on your screen right now. It's called Insider Secrets to Recruiting Professionals. I produced this course originally about 6 years ago, and it quickly became the most popular training program. I've got tons of different audio CD training programs, coaching programs. This became the most popular and in-demand subject for me to train at different network marketing companies and groups. And last month, or actually in May, before I went to Indonesia, or part before and the other half after, I went into my studio, and actually that's me on video sitting in my studio here downstairs, and I reproduced that program from start to finish. I spent over 30 hours in the studio, and I produced the new version, Insider Secrets to Recruiting Professionals 2.0, okay? It's like 30 modules. It's a complete home study course that teaches you how to go find these people, where to find them, what to say to them, how to say it, how to approach people, warm market, how to approach people, cold market that maybe you don't yet know, how to engage people in conversation, what to do with them when you get them, how to follow up with them. I mean, it is a complete home study course on the subject of recruiting up, okay? Now, here's the thing. What you see is a site that my assistant put together for me today, and I think, okay, so on that site, and you don't see it unless you scroll down the site, there's a clock that's ticking on the site. So you have, okay, so that she's been on the site for just about an hour. You have 5 hours, so this page is up for 5 hours. Here's the thing. The normal price on the product is $397. Most people who've purchased my program have paid full price for it. When I do webinars, when I do conference calls, I'll discount it. The typical discounted price that I do for a webinar historically is I'll take $100 off of it so you can get it for $297. What I did for Blake and there's a group tonight is I took another $100 off. So if you go to that website, which is recruitup.net, you can pick up my #1 selling, actually in the current version of it, the brand new version of it, and instead of paying $397, I'm taking $200 off. You get it for $197. And then you're getting another product, a $397 product that I'm giving you for free just to make it super sweet and easy for you. And what that is, and I think it's somewhere on the site if you scroll down, the bonus product that I'm giving you is an interview series. I sat down with 10 of the biggest producers in network marketing. It's somewhere down at the bottom. And I sat them down for an hour, and maybe it's not on there. That's okay. I think I just described it. It's okay. It's not on that page. But what the bonus program that you're getting here is 10 one-hour interviews of me sitting down with people that are making $60,000 to $60,000 plus a month. I think maybe the lowest earner is maybe $25,000 a month or something like that. And she is just a dynamo recruiter, and the way she built her business, and she's done that in a relatively short period of time. To a couple people in there that are making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a month in their respective programs that are sharing their story. Like I'm like, how did you get started? How did you get recruited? What was your experience? Was it hard? Oh my gosh, it was hard. Was it easy? How'd you get through this? How did you do it? Tell me exactly how you went about building to getting to where you are. I mean, that in and of itself, I sell that every time, $397. I'm giving that to you tonight for free. So you get insider secrets to recruiting professionals for $197, and then you get the bonus program, which is that Network Marketing Mastery interview series for free, typically $397. And here's the last thing I'll leave you with. Okay. I stand behind everything that I put out there. I've been speaking full-time for the network marketing profession for the last 11 years. My merchant account, I'll just tell you this. Here's the thing. You got no risk. You have zippo to risk. The only thing you got to do is be able to put it on your credit card, buy the product, take it home, use it for 30 days. If, at the end of 30 days, you're like, I don't like this guy, Todd. He was funny on the call. He was kind of good, but now I'm kind of getting tired of him, or I don't care what your excuse is. If you're like, I don't want the product, if you don't think it's worthy of you keeping it, then I'll just refund your money. You just send my assistant an email, say I don't like it, and I want a refund. Fine, bang, done. And there's, you end up keeping the product anyhow because you got it's instant download. Cool thing about the way this product is, we're moving kind of into the mode of like gone are the days of CD and DVD to some extent. I mean, I'm sitting here on my brand new MacBook Pro. There's no place for a DVD. So the cool thing about that is you can instantly download it. You can put it into iTunes. You can put it on your iPhone, your iPad, your whatever thing that you're iPadding around or droiding around on, and you can access it that way. So, again, I stand behind it 100%. Take it home, use it for 30 days. Most important thing I'll say is if you buy something, the worst thing that you can do is like learn something really cool and then not apply it. Or have somebody like me that's taken all this time and has all these years of experience and being successful at network marketing and then listening to it and then doing nothing with it. That's a shame. What I want to see instead is you go through the information, you use it, and you actually get results, and you end up sending me a message, oh my gosh, Todd, I am crushing it right now, and I have such this passionate outlook on where I'm going in my business because of the stuff that you taught me through this training program. That's really what I want to see. But, again, you don't have anything to risk. You can pick up my #1 selling product at the lowest price you can ever find it at. And you just go to recruitup.net, recruitup.net. So that's the site. And, Blake, Angie, I appreciate the opportunity of being here. And you guys have a great group, and I'll pass the webinar back over to you guys.
Well, great. Thanks a lot, Todd. That was a great call. Sorry we had a little technical difficulty, everybody, with the slides and everything. But as Todd said, he's done this training for basically thousands of times, and you can tell he's very passionate about what he does. And we brought him because he's got a product, he's got a training and stuff that everybody needs. And you guys have got to get out there, and we got people that I talk to that struggle with the exact same thing that Todd talks about. He actually did a better job of probably explaining it than I do. And, of course, if you get his course here, the Insider Secrets Recruiting Professionals, I can tell you that when you do get professionals and recruit up versus getting that person that's, broke and doesn't have the money and they're struggling to get by and things like that, those are the ones that are going to drag you down and be really tough to build a business with. I think somebody, said you want to get the greedy, not the needy. And this is kind of maybe you're going to find people that are professionals out there that are always open to looking at other opportunities, other ways to make income, real estate people, things like that. I mean, the market's up right now, but I can guarantee you the market's going to go down again, and I think a lot of those people know about it. And we're actually targeting a group of that real estate agents right now because we know the market's up right now, but it's going to go back down. It goes in cycles and stuff like that. They know that now. The ones that are in there right now that experience that, they know that they're in a good time right now, but maybe they better start thinking about something else. And there's all sorts of different people out there in different professions that have that same thing going on right now. So you guys take a look at the course. Like I said, it's just like our Beachbody business. We have a bottom-of-the-bag guarantee with our Shakeology. You know that. We talk about that to everybody we have and that we prospect, every customer, every coach, that they got a bottom-of-the-bag guarantee. They can try Shakeology for 30 days. If they don't like it, they get their money back. And Todd's offering the exact same thing here. You got nothing to risk. Get the product, download it. When I was at the Recruiting Masters thing, we brought a package that Todd had there, and I've listened to it. And turn your car into Drive Time University. Upload it to iTunes, plug it into your headphones while you're working out, while you're driving, things like that, and get this information and start applying it. Like you said earlier too, it's like you can have this information, you can listen to it, but you got to apply it, and you're going to have to grow from it. So take the discount. It's going away in 4 hours, and this is not a pitch by me. I'm not getting a dime for this. Angie's not getting a dime. Nobody's getting it. We want people to have good information. It's going to work for some of you and some not, but just take a look at it and get it right now. You got 4 hours, and so many. I don't have that screen up, but grab it, listen to it, apply it to your business, and we will be talking to you soon. And stay tuned for next Thursday's training, and catch us on our Facebook page, and we will talk to you soon. And good night, everybody. Thanks a lot again, Todd. That was a great call. Love the energy, and everybody, good night, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Thank you.